And it will be you, Iowa, who choose the path we take from here. Last week, the other party gave you their pitch at the convention down in Florida. Don't move. Vote. It was something to behold. Despite all the challenges that we face in this new century, what they offered over those 3 days was, more often than not, an agenda that was better suited for the last century. It was a rerun. We've seen it before. You might as well have watched it on a black and white TV. If you didn't DVR it, let me recap it for you. Everything's bad. It's Obama's fault. And Governor Romney is the only one who knows the secret to creating jobs and growing the economy. That was the pitch. There was a lot of talk about hard truths and bold choices, but nobody ever actually bothered to tell you what they were. And when Governor Romney had his chance to let you in on his secret, he did not offer a single new idea. Just retread to the same old policies that have been sticking it to the middle class for years. They talked a lot about me. They talked a lot about him. They didn't say much about you. And they spent the last time talking about what they plan to do. Not just because they know you won't like it, but because you've lived through it and you can't repeat it. See, it turns out that we don't think making middle class pay for another budget-busting $250,000 tax cut for folks making $3 million a year or more will magically translate into jobs and prosperity for everybody else. We don't think families will be better off if we undo financial reforms that are there to prevent another financial crisis, or rules that are there to protect our air and our water, protections to make sure your health care is there for you when you get sick. We really don't think the best way to strengthen Medicare is to give seniors a voucher that leaves them to pay any additional costs out of their own pockets. Iowa, they have tried to sell us these tired, trickle-down, you're-on-your-own policies before. They did not work, jobs strengthens the middle class. And the good news is you get to choose which path we take. But we can take their path, or we can take the path that I'm going to present. We can choose whether we give massive new tax cuts to folks who've already made it, or whether we keep the tax cuts for every American who's still trying to make it. I have cut taxes by a total of about $3,600 for the typical family. And I'm now running to make sure the taxes aren't raised a dime on your family's first $250,000 of income. That's what that's for. But you're going to have to choose. It'll be up to you. You can choose whether we seed new jobs and new industries to countries like China and India and Germany, or whether we fight for those jobs in states like Iowa. My opponent's experience, he likes to talk about it, has been investing in companies that often were called pioneers in the business of outsourcing jobs. And when his advice was to let Detroit go bankrupt, I said 1 million jobs are at stake. An iconic American industry is at stake. I'm going to bet on American workers and American manufacturing. And today, the American auto industry has come roaring back. That's the choice. Unlike my opponent, I want to stop giving tax breaks to companies that ship jobs overseas. I want to start rewarding companies that create jobs right here in Urbandale and Desmoines, right here in Iowa, right here in the United States of America. That's what we're fighting for. You can decide whether borrow money from your parents is an acceptable answer for a young person hoping to go to college or start a business. Or you can say, let's make sure America once again leads the world in educating our kids. Let's help more young people go to college, ready to learn. Let's hire more great teachers, especially in math and science. Let's help more Americans go to community colleges to get the skills for the jobs they need right now. Governor Romney wants to end the college tax credit we created that's saving families up to $10,000 over 4 years in tuition. I want to extend it. In America, our education can be a luxury. It is an economic necessity and something everybody should be able to afford. That's what we're fighting for. Iowa, you can choose an energy plan written by and for the big oil companies, or you can choose an all-the-above energy strategy for America. At a time when homegrown energy is creating new jobs right here in Iowa, when farmers are helping to create new biofuels, when one-shuttered factories are churning out new wind turbines. My opponent wants to end tax credit for wind energy producers. He said new sources of energy like these are imaginary. His running mate calls them a fad. Nearly 7,000 jobs in this state depend on the wind industry. Those jobs aren't a fad. They are the future. Insurance companies decide who to cover and when, or whether we keep moving forward with the new health care law that's already cutting costs and covering more people. people and saving lives. Now's not the time to refight the battles of the past 4 years. Now's the time to move forward. This November, you get to decide the future of this war in Afghanistan. Governor Romney had nothing to say about Afghanistan last week, let alone offer a plan for the 33,000 troops who will have come home from the war by the end of this month. You know, he said ending the war in Iraq was tragic. I said we'd end that war, and we did. I said we'd take out bin Laden, and we did. Today, all of our troops are out of Iraq. We are bringing them home from Afghanistan, and as long as I'm Commander-in-Chief, we will serve our veterans as well as they've served us. Veterans like Lucas, who got his education back from post-9/11 Seattle, because nobody who fights for this country should have to fight for a job or an education or a roof over their head when they come home. That's what this statement is like. On issue after issue, Governor Romney and Congressman Ryan will take us back. The story of America is not moving forward. And soon you'll get a chance to choose a path that will actually lead to a better future. But over the next 2 months, the other side will spend more money than we have ever seen on ads that basically tell you the same thing they told you at the convention. The economy's not doing good, and it's Obama's fault. They know their economic plan isn't popular. Go figure that raising taxes on middle-class families to pay for new tax cuts for billionaires and millionaires doesn't go over that well. So that's not what they're going to talk about. They're counting on the fact that you get so discouraged by these negative ads that you decide your vote doesn't matter. You'll decide that you can't compete with $10 million checks from wealthy donors. I'm counting on something different. I'm counting on you. And I need your help. First and foremost, I need you to go to gottaregister.com to make sure that you are registered to vote. Now this is gotta register. I'm sorry, any English teachers who are in the room, it's not got to, it is gotta. G-O-T-T-A, register.com. And once you're registered, then you gotta go to gottavote.com. That's G-O-T-T-A, vote.com. To find out how to cast your ballot early. Because now you don't have to wait until November 6th to vote. You can be among the very first to vote in this election, starting September 27th. That's gottaregister.com.
He just walked out.